Hi, Sandra here from Create in Spain, and today's card is going to be a relatively quick one. I say relatively quick, it needs some drying time, but other than that it is pretty quick to make. And I made this one because of wanting to use up leftovers. I had this card with a big circle cut out of the corner, and instead of just using it for scrap pieces to cut out other bits and pieces, I decided to see if I could actually make it into a card with that circle cut out. So I folded it in half because it was A5 size originally. That gives me an A6 size card. And in this particular case, what I decided to do was make the most of some holographic reflective card that I had. So I literally put a whole piece behind the front page. And the reason for that is because there is only the very tiniest of borders just here. Because when I cut the circle, I was after the circle shape and not the rest of the card. So I cut it pretty close to the corner. And I thought it would make far more sense to reinforce it with a whole piece of card behind than do it any other way. So then what I did was I used some tack it over and over. Now the nib on this is one that you cut off yourself, and it's almost impossible to cut a really fine hole with one of those. So what I've done is I decanted some into one of these little containers. They usually have 3D coloured glues in them. And this particular variety you can unscrew, which is great, and it has a really fine nib, which is also great. But being that it's not one of the fine metal ones, it doesn't tend to get bunged up and stop working like it would if you put it into a very fine metal nozzle. So I freehanded the design on here, and it worked really well. And the secret of doing that is not to lift the glue, or the pen with the glue in it, I should say, off of the surface. Just trail it like that while lightly squeezing. And if you do that, you'll find you don't get such enormous great globs of glue. So that's the way I did it. I then dumped a whole load of glitter over the top, and this is the glitter I used. I bought I think it was a 4-ounce container of holographic glitter. It was really cheap on eBay at the time. It's very fine, it's absolutely gorgeous stuff. And of course it doesn't take much to do an awful lot of cards. So having done the glue, having put a whole load of glitter on it, I tapped off the excess and left it to dry overnight. Now I can run my fingers over this and I get very little in the way of glitter off. There's virtually no trace on my fingers. But the great thing about it is that this particular glue dries raised, and it gives a little extra dimension as well. So that's really nice. So all I need to do is finish off the card, and that's going to be really simple. So once you have the design with its glitter on and you've brushed off the excess glitter, the next step is to put a glue dot at the top and to do a tag and put it in the position that you actually want it to be in. I've put a glue dot on the back of this. So I've now got some metallic shearing elastic, and I'm just going to cut off a piece of this, which is plenty long enough. You don't want to make it too short, because if you do that, you'll only end up having to cut 2 pieces. And what I'm going to do is fold it in half, put the 2 ends through the hole on the tag, pull them through like that, just as you would normally. Now if you want to, you can twist these together. Oops, it's got stuck on the glue. So you can twist them together if you want to avoid them sort of coming apart and looking like 2 pieces. And you get sort of like a little wavy line. and then just stick it over the glue dot and cut off any excess. So cut it off round about there. And then I have a bow that I've made. It's a double bow, this one, as it happens. So it's like a butterfly shape. You make a double bow and stick that on top of that there. I have a silver Signo pen, which I find is really, really good. I've got them in white, got them in gold, and I've got the silver one. So they're really good for adding little accents of colour and a few little dots around here. For some reason it just really completes it and livens it up. So there we are. Apart from the waiting time, a relatively quick but certainly a very easy card to make, and it's very effective with that holographic card. You could do it with a normal foil card. It would look pretty good still, but the holographic one just really makes it, and I just happened to have it and thought it's a good way of showing it off. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you again soon.